Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the moment you've all been waiting for, we have live in studio, JD Aguilera. JD, how you doing?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. And you've been on before about a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
But since then, a lot's happened. And, of course, we've gotten some new listeners. So if you would please introduce yourself and then introduce the band you got with you.
All right. So obviously I'm JD Aguilera. This is the band. Obviously the last time I was here solo. We got the drummer on the cajon here today. We got my buddy Junior.
Hey,
hello,
Junior.
Some people can see you, maybe not. And then we got my buddy Ron. I've known Ron a long time. He's over here. He's going to lay down some nasty steel licks and some electric guitar for us today.
Yeah, during the sound check, it sounded really good. So we're looking forward to this whole setup here. So last time you were here, like you said, you were solo. What's been going on since?
A lot, just like everybody else. The pandemic was doing some stuff to live music. I'd been trying to put together a full band for a while, and then right before everything got crazy, Ron and I had played a gig in February of last year, right before everything shut down, and then we were kind of looking forward to doing some more stuff, and then it all went to heck.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Like a lot of bands, you've managed to persevere through all of that, and not only just persevere, but you've written some new stuff. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So now that whole time in between then and now, what was that writing process like? I mean, was it a lot of stuff you were going through, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of just stuff that you had put away that you hadn't put the pen to paper yet, or?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people, I'm always kind of, I don't know, sometimes I hear something on the radio and you hear a sound, or you hear something in conversation and something just kind of clicks, and you just kind of log it up here, or once in a while I'll put stuff down, in notes in my iPhone, and then when I do have time, as seldom as that is, I sit down and I go back through that stuff, and then I'll sit and I'll try to see what I can come up with. But yeah, some of the stuff is things that I've already been messing around with for a while, and I put the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, and you've been busy, like you said. You got a new gig, a new actual paying job, but that's different from your last one.
So I'm still actually.
Are you still doing that?
Yes. Shout out.
Yes.
Local 25.
Of
Still
course.
doing that whole thing. And that was another thing. So because everything was shut down with music, fortunately for me, we talked last time, but I travel a little bit for work. So once the pandemic happened, I was traveling around the state a little bit for work, and then I was fortunate enough to work in town here and still be able to gig. And then I think in the fall, I took off. I had to head up towards Chicagoland area, and then I went up to Green Bay. And then I was home all winter, and then I found myself out in the Northeast area. I was working out in New Jersey, doing some work through the union out there. But yeah, staying very busy.
That's good. That's good. So let's get a song out of you. What do you got for us first?
Okay, we're gonna do a tune called "Still on the Loose." We finished putting the final touches on this tune. So, I'm sorry, we were talking about the band. Not here with us today is our bass guitarist, Mike. Shout out to Mike if Mike's on Facebook or any of that stuff. But yeah, he's not here with us today. But we've got some gigs coming up that we'll talk about, obviously.
Definitely.
That he will be with us for, and he's fun. He's like me. He's got a lot of one-liners, when we're in between doing our thing and trying to make sure everybody's back in tune. He's got the jokes.
All right.
So, so thank you, Mike, if you're listening. All right. We ready? Okay. Look into the rearview and I see these wandering eyes. They'll leave a path of destruction, a country mile wide. No one dares stop me till they run out of room. I took the path of least resistance, didn't get my fill. Never lit my fuse when I let God take the wheel. I burned down a new road, I burned down this town. There's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do. Gotta let that fire burn, 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 till it runs out of fumes. Take it, Ronnie. Well, I tried to take the high road, I ain't that kind of man. Been known to burn a bridge, even if it's where I stand. Burn his candle at both ends, just to prove to you there's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do. That horse runs wild and this town burned down, I'm still on the loose. Still on the loose.
All right, J.D. Aguilera here,
All right.
live in studio. That was so good, man. That is
Yeah,
so
thank
good.
you.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're out and about doing stuff, and you got a nice band to accompany you. It sounds great. Before we get any further, though, I do want to tell everybody you were you were in the Army. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
So let's talk a little about that, because we like to support our veterans. So first and foremost, on behalf of the station and all our listeners, thank you for your service, and tell us about your time in the Army.
It was long. It was a long time.
Let me get some Civil
was
War
a
music in
lot.
the background here.
What was that?
I got some Civil War music in the background. I can
Yes,
play.
it was a long time ago. I barely remember. No, So I guess we talked about it before, but I had joined. Well, not too long after high school, I had joined in. I want to say 2007. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, whether it was music or, be a pipe fitter, welder, or whatever else. And I was just kind of, like a lot of guys that age, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Long lineage of service members in my family. And it was something I'd always wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure, and I just sort of jumped on it. So I took off, and I had joined the Army, I want to say, in the summer of 2007. Went out to Fort Sill for basic training out in Oklahoma. Finished that up, and then late summer, early fall, I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which was where my mom was born, actually, because my grandpa had served. And then I finished up that time there, and a lot of guys, if you got other veterans that are listening, they know that when you get done, you get this, they call it like a wish list. You get to pick these places that by chance, usually like very slim to none chance you can go. Like you can get online and say, oh, I would love to be stationed in Hawaii, for my time. And I had picked Germany at random, and it just so happened that they needed a bunch of people. So a bunch of guys that I had trained with, that I was in basic and then AIT, my school. We got done there, and then we all got sent to Germany. And we were like, yes, we get a 2-year stint in Germany. And then the day that they picked us up from the airport to take us to our unit, they were like, you guys want the good news or the bad news? And we were like, well, what's the bad news? And we kind of figured what it was. They're like, well, the unit you're coming to is going to be deploying soon. We're like, well, what's the good news? And they're like, well, it's not for about 8 more months. And I was like, oh, that's the good news.
Right.
Okay, thank you. But to make a long story short, so I finished up my time, did one tour in Iraq, got back to Germany, got transferred to Oklahoma, back to Fort Sill. I was stationed out there about 30 minutes from my cousin Alex, who's also, she's from this area but moved out there. She's an Air Force vet. Alex, if you're watching. And then I finished my 2 years there, came home, sat on the couch, got fat, and I was like, man, I sure miss the camaraderie and the fellas and the dirty jokes and everything else that being in entails. So I joined the Guard, and then I did another 8 in the Guard. And I think I got out in January of 19. So we're coming up on 3 years of being able to have a life again.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thanks.
Yes, really
Appreciate
mean that. You know, as somebody that has military family members, I understand the sacrifice, and so do many of our listeners. So yes, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, we
All
appreciate
right, let's ask you another music question here. For those that are new to the show, never heard you before, when did you first get that music bug? How young were you? Because some people start like real young. Some people, in their 30s or 40s.
I mean, you know what? It's kind of a generic answer. I don't. What about you guys? For me, it was. I don't feel like I was just born with it. I always kind of, yeah. 12, 13, and then for me, I got my first guitar, I think, when I was like 12 or 13. It's like 98 or 99 or something.
So you got your first guitar. So did you ask for it, or somebody give it to you?
Yes, yeah. So I had asked for it. My mom bought me an electric guitar when I was 12. I fiddled around on that thing. They bought me an acoustic, and then later on down the line, I just started acquiring stuff myself. But yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. I just always I just gravitated towards that. I played sports like a lot of other kids did a little bit when I was younger, but I just gravitated towards music and art, that kind of stuff. I used to love to draw when I was a kid. Yeah, just music. Everybody. I mean, people are listening to this right now. They like to listen to music. The music, it makes you feel something. It doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's if you're sad, everybody has their go-to song they like to listen to when they're sad. If you're needing something upbeat, you're working out, you're doing whatever. A lot of people like to listen to some rap or some metal, something to just it helps you get into that mood for the thing that you're gonna do. Or it helps you wallow in your pain.
Definitely, and also music gives us a job.
Yeah, and it gives us a job.
And these guys. Well, let's hear some more music from you. What do you got for us next?
We'll do. What were we gonna do next? We were gonna do. Okay, so we were talking about guitars. I think I told you last time. This is a brand new, just bought this year, Martin D28. It was my dream guitar. Guys like Ron that have been playing forever. I think he's been playing longer than I've been alive. He's probably owned 1 or 2 of these. A bunch of his family members have owned 2. But I wrote a song. The next song we're gonna play. I think I played last time. I wrote this song for my wife. I started it when I was deployed. But it's called Martin and Me. The Martin that this was written about is busted up. It broke at one of our last gigs. Came apart. So little Elmer's glue, and we're gonna put it back together. Oh, let me grab my capo real quick.
No problem. And just in case you're tuning in, we have J.D. Aguilera and company in studio. We're still thinking of a band name, so we're working on that as we go along. But in the meantime, though, you can check us out on Facebook Live right now. You can see them live in action. Also, don't forget, coming up later on in this show, we got those pizza giveaways to Godfather. Stay tuned for the details on how to win. Also, Mama C is going to be calling in later on in the show. She is at Lollapalooza in Old Town, Moline, Illinois. So, back to JD. Are you ready?
I think we're good to go.
Okay.
Let me get this.
No
back
problem.
on here.
Whenever you're ready, you go ahead.
Okay. Ready, fellas? All right, I come in on this one. Got my first one when I was 18. Was all I had and the only thing I'd need till you came around, brought me to my knees. That whole summer, you and me, that old guitar, we'd laugh and play and sing till I gave you the news. Well, I'd join the army. I asked her to hold that old guitar for me. It brought us together, never fall apart, just like our love and everything we hold dear to our hearts. Our love is like music, it's like a melody. We'll always be together, you, yeah, you and that Martin and me. 5 years later, we've come a long way. I still got a you, babe, me and Martin, we still play. Well, it's time to settle down, so I got down on one knee. Sold that old guitar, and I bought her a ring. It brought us together, we'll never fall apart, just like our love and everything we hold dear to our hearts. Our love is like music, it's like a melody. We'll always be together, you, yeah, you, yeah, you and me. Said our vows in 2 weeks to the day. At a pawn shop down on Main Street, she gave that ring away. When she came home that night, said she had something for me. Said she didn't love that ring, she fell in love with that Martin and me. It brought us together, we'll never fall apart, just like our love and everything hold dear to our hearts. Our love is like music, it's like a melody. We'll always be together, you
J.D. Aguilera live in studio here on the Local Lick Show, brought to you by Brenny's. Guys, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, we'll have some more questions and more music from you. So in the meantime, though, stick around. We've got, so much more to go. So thank you for tuning in. This is Vintage Radio 107.7 WQUD. I am Johnny Dollar. Like I said, going to do our top of the hour break, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Quad Cities area, Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, and Bettendorf. Why not give me a whirl?
Welcome back to the Local Lick Show, brought to you by Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic, the Quad Cities' largest new and pre-owned motorcycle, scooter, and off-road vehicle dealer. Stop by, check them out, 4426 State Street in Bettendorf, Iowa. I am Johnny Dollar, broadcasting live from the Rhythm City Casino Studios here in downtown Erie, Illinois, serving the Quad Cities and worldwide online at WQUD-FM.com. Just click on the Listen Now button, and you can take us just about anywhere you want to go. Well, joining us live in studio is J.D. Aguilera and Friends, and we've been talking to J.D. about a lot of stuff, his music, his time in the Army, and what he's been doing since then. Going back to the music, J.D.,
Yes.
what is your writing process like? I know you said that you come up with ideas in your head, you put it down. Seems to be a trend a lot of people do. How do you organize all that? I mean, if you're just like writing it down randomly, put it in your phone, how do you keep track of all that? And what gives you ideas for songs?
My process, I was gonna make fun of my wife real quick if she's listening. I was gonna say, if you asked her, she would say,
what he does is he just like sits around and he just keeps doing stuff just for like hours and hours until it works itself out over the course of about 6 or 8 weeks.
Do you hold on a minute? Do you plan on going home tonight?
Not directly. I don't know. I might go to the tavern first.
Sure, good idea. Good idea.
Yeah. So
anyway, yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I'm a busy man. It just depends. When I have free time, I like to sit around and just kind of, like Ron was doing when we got here, just like to kind of sit here and noodle. And sometimes you just do something and it clicks, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And as I mentioned earlier, I put a lot of stuff in my phone. I'll do voice memos. I get in notes, and then I'll write lyrics down. And sometimes I'll go back through different stuff and just piece things together. Or again, like I said, something that I just heard with someone in a conversation, or I don't know, something in the news. Someone says something crazy. Every once in a while, I like to try to make a funny song out of it, or do.
Well, there's plenty of crazy talk out there. Let me tell you what.
Yes, there is right now.
There definitely is. Yeah. Do you remember the first time you actually performed in front of an audience?
You know what? Honestly, I'm trying to.
It was that memorable, huh?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't really. I'm thinking in terms of like the biggest audience.
Well, any type.
I would say the first, the one that's most memorable is when I was deployed. I did one of those. So they did like their own little offshoot of like American Idol and what have you, and we called it like Iraqi Idol. I was at like not Cop Medesas. I was at like Altacadum or someplace like that, and they had this big, like I said, Iraqi Idol deal that they put together like near the 4th of July, and I got up there and I think I played for probably 500 or 600 people or more, and.
That's a good-sized crowd.
Yeah, I got up there and played Simple Man, and it's super cringy to watch the video now because I was like 20, oh God, I was like 22 or 3 or something like that, and I was just like, incredibly, I just look really arrogant, like stepping up there like, watch, I'm about to blow everybody's mind. And then I did end up winning it, actually, so that makes the story weird.
Humble
but
brag.
yeah, so I can't remember the first time that I ever performed for people, but that's probably one of like the more memorable ones, honestly.
Well, yeah, I definitely remember that. And
Yeah.
wow, 500-600 people, and well, they liked you, and the confidence you had to help too. I mean, there's a lot of people get up on stage and they just fall apart.
Yeah, to an extent. Well, on the other,
Especially in a war zone too, by the way.
yeah,
Come on.
and the more interesting thing is that I got up there and it's Simple Man. So everybody and their brother knows Simple Man by Skinner. And I got up there and I just butchered the lyrics in a bunch of different spots. And if you watch the video, you can see I do this thing where I'm like, and I kind of cringe and like pull my head away from the microphone because I know it's not right. and I still ended up winning. So I don't know. It was. Yeah, sometimes I actually thank you for bringing that up, Johnny Dollar, because I've tried to block that memory out.
That's what I do best.
Yes,
Sorry, you're
thank you,
welcome. Anytime. All right, so before we get to our next song, I want to ask, what's in your playlist now? What do you listen to now?
I'm listening to like a lot of, it's kind of the same stuff. I've been listening to Cody Johnson. I really like Cody Johnson. I think we have like similar vocal range. He's a heck of a singer. You can tell he's kind of got that like grew up listening to the same stuff as me, but he plays country music. He got like that like Boys to Men kind of like he has that vocal range and can do all that stuff, but he plays, a little bit newer, more outlaw country kind of stuff. But Cody Johnson, I don't know, Sturgill Simpson, and I resort back to like old stuff like Randy Travis, which Ron doesn't. He's not a huge fan of playing, but he does it for me because he cares about me.
What a guy! What a guy!
Just a lot of the same stuff. Tyler Childers, Sturgill Simpson, Ward Davis, Cody Jinks, all that. A lot of stuff that you guys do play from time to time on here, which we all appreciate.
Of course, and quick plug for Outlaw Dave. That's coming up
there
at
we
3
go.
o'clock, so you can hear a lot of that stuff. But in the meantime, though, let's get another song out of you. What do you have for us next?
All right. This is a song called Daddy's Matches. I wrote this song a couple years ago when I was traveling, and when I wrote it, I just like, I knew, I was like, man, this is a killer song. And only until recently with these guys have I had the chance to play it and hear it really filled out. But like in my head, I heard it, with them doing their thing along with it. And so I've been really eager to play it for people now with these guys tagging along. Sometimes I'm sure you get people in here and there's songs that are fun and they're easy to play by yourself, but then you add in all the other elements to it and you're like, man, that song kicks her in the rear. So This is called Daddy's Matches. All right, let me make sure I'm on here. All right, ready? Kick her off. Sign on the doorway said, God bless this home. There's a picture on the mantle, now it's all gone. It's next to a cross and Grandpa's ashes and a red box of Marlboros and Daddy's matches. They've been together for 25 years. Daddy made love and laughter, Mama made tears. Dad lived the nightlife, well, Mama turned cold. Her heart was a prison, that house was no home. One night Daddy came home, but it wasn't that late. He laid out stone drunk while the house set ablaze. The whole town could see it had gone up in flames. They all prayed that Mama had gotten out safe. No one suspected that he was inside, 'cause his life was a tavern and cheating his wife. Well, smoking will kill you, but you'll never know when. Try cheating on Mama in her own bed. There's a sign on the doorway said, God bless this home. There's a picture on the mantle, and now it's all gone. It was next to a cross. Now it's all ashes from a red box of Marlboros and Daddy's matches. She lit one cigarette and set it on the nightstand on a red box of Marlboros and Daddy's matches. Yeah, I like the way he bends that.
All right, another great one
Yeah.
from J.D. Aguilera. J.D., you were saying before this song here that when you wrote it, you're like, hey, this is going to be a great song. How do you know when it's ready to be recorded? How do you come to that point before you do all the editing and all that stuff?
Well, I haven't recorded much. I have one song that's recorded that you guys are
Sure, yeah, we got
play
that in the
for
library.
me from time to time. But we actually, I think that's kind of one of the things we're going to do here. That the next step is we're just going to keep kind of tightening it up, doing full band stuff, and then we'll record. But as far as the songwriting and like knowing when it's, I don't know. I mean, I think when you write something and you get done with it, there's been times when I've written a song and I'll go back and change things, even years down the line, which, pardon me, the song that I wrote for my wife, that Martin and Me song that we played, the way that I play it now is different than the way it was when I wrote it. My wife actually likes the way that I played it originally, but it's got a little bit more, it feels a little bit more current. It feels more modern the way that I play it now, and it works for the way that these guys play, the way that Ron plays, and the way that he drums. But that song, Daddy's Matches, I got done writing it, and I just kind of instantly knew it just felt like a really good kind of classic country song. It had that feel and it cool little story song. I like story songs, so that just kind of tends to reel people in. I think there's such a strong desire from people right now to hear, especially my generation, the nostalgia of like the things we grew up listening to and seeing it come back. Artists like Sturgill and Tyler and stuff like that. Stapleton doing his thing and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So what do you do when you're not making music and you're not working? What do you do for fun? That's legal.
I have a laundry list. I have a laundry list of projects that need to be finished at the house. I ripped all the trim down in my house. If anybody wants to come over and help, we've been slowly putting trim back up. Like we painted the outside. I took about 2.5 months, 3 months to build a deck by myself this summer. Just trying to make my house feel like a home, and then spending time with my kids. When I'm not doing this and when I'm not traveling for work, and I'm fortunate enough to not have to work here locally, every once in a while I'll take a couple months off and I just kind of hang out. And it actually worked out last year with COVID, with everything going on. I'm sure everybody knows, a lot of kids were home from school, and it's happening still. Unfortunately, with the way things work for me, I'm able to just, well, I guess we'll go fishing today, kids. We'll go do a little biology lesson.
There you go.
On the
Sounds like
Hennepin
fun.
Canal. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, can we squeeze at least a couple more songs out of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got more stuff.
What you got for us next?
I'm trying to remember. We did after that one. It was Driftin'. We're gonna do Driftin'. You guys ready? Yeah, Driftin'. That you guys are already. I'm grateful that you guys play
Of course.
here at the station for
Happy
me.
Happy to.
I'd love to in the future re-record that, and possibly the other songs we're playing here today with these guys. Record all that stuff here soon.
Once again, we have J.D. Aguilera live in studio with company here on the Local Lick Show.
Yeah. Again, we got my buddy Ron, Mr. Ron Wilson over here playing guitar, and Junior on the drums. Almost the drum. On the single drum. Literally on it. He's sitting on his box drum. Sounds way better than my guitar, or the suitcase kick drum that I brought last time. Okay. All right, let me. All right. We didn't do this one already, did we? Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Here we go. I'll get her started. This is called Driftin'. Never intended to hurt you. You never wanted this life. But at the end of the day, well, this guitar pays for your house and the truck that don't drive. Cool, I broke a string. All right, why don't we, why don't we go ahead and take a break, if we can, since I broke a string, a very, very important string. Is that possible?
Oh, of course we can.
Is that something we can do?
No problem. Not
All
a
right.
problem at all. That happens, so don't worry about it. So you go ahead and take care of that. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and do a few commercial breaks, pay the bills. See us next Friday down there at the Tax Slayer Center for opening night with the Quad City Storm. Hey, we're back to the local lick show, and we're going to do take 2 of Driftin'. JD Aguilera live in studio here with some friends. And JD, are you ready then?
I am ready.
Okay, let's give it a go then.
All right, let's try this again. You know what? Of course that would happen.
No problem at all.
I just changed all of them. Why wouldn't I break another one? All right, let's get this thing going again. Again, this is Driftin'. Never intended to hurt you. You never wanted this life. At the end of the day, well, this guitar pays for your house and the truck that don't drive. I keep a photo of you in my wallet. One of you and the kids on the dash. It's a welcome escape from the miles and the pain, the loneliness and the heartbreak. I could quit drinking this whiskey, doing cocaine to drown out the misery for which I'm to blame. I try, Lord knows I try. I'm drifting further away. You had the heart to forgive me. You ever wanted me back. I can't promise a thing, girl. I'll try to stay clean as long as you still wear that ring. If I could quit drinking try. I try. Lord knows I try. I'm drifting further away. Further away. Get a little bit of bend in there at the end.
J.D. Aguilera
Yeah,
live in
yeah.
studio here with Driftin'. Before we get to another song from you, I got to ask you, what is your guilty pleasure song? Do you have one that you like to listen to but you don't want anybody else to know until right now? And it can be from anything.
You know what?
Any genre, any time.
It's so it sounds really funny, but I mean, I listen to a lot of Adele. But who does? Listen, if you don't like Adele, you just take it somewhere else. But when Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus came out, I remember being at drill, and me and my buddy, he was one of my soldiers and friends, Oscar Garduno or Oscar Garduno and my buddy Nunez, and some other guys. Like, people would play that stuff all the time, and I would like turn it off, but secretly I loved it. It was my jam. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it later, Ron. Okay. But yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got one, and it's a lot of people have that. They they'll be like a hard rock guy, but I went to a what was it? It was a concert at the it was Iowa.
The Mark.
It was at the Iowa. It wasn't that old, but
okay.
It was the I Love the '90s tour.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was in I don't remember who. I think it was like Salt and Pepper. Coolio.
Look, that would be fun.
One of them was on there playing, and I saw this guy, this big bike, the classic biker guy, huge beard, big dude, man. He was just jamming. I'm like, all right, I see you. You know, so everybody's got one. So nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's funny you say that. You're talking about like guys that listen to rock and heavy metal and all that. Like, I grew up listening to metal. Like, I loved Pantera. I was a big like Dimebag Darrell fan. I got his guitar tattooed on my arm here, on my forearm, and like now I'm out here every once in a while. If you catch me having enough beverages, I might sing "Wrecking Ball" by Miley Cyrus at karaoke.
Well, there is a bar open down a ways, so if you want to go take it down there and see if we can't get you to belt one out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me ask you to do one more song before we call it a day. What do you have for us next?
Okay. Let me ask the guys. Do you guys want to do that was like a little? Okay. Let me tune it back up real quick, and we're gonna do that.
Sure. No problem at all. You are listening to the Local Lick Show right here on Vintage Radio, brought to you by Brenny's, and we are broadcasting from the Rhythm City Casino Studios here in downtown Erie, Illinois. We have J.D. Aguilera live in studio with friends, and J.D., whenever you're ready, just let me know, or you need a few more seconds. We'll give him a few more seconds here, by the way.
All right.
Oh, you ready then?
Yep.
Okay, go for it then.
This is just called, this is the Heartbreak song. All right, you ready, fellas? And then I'll come in with it here. These boots are barely broken in. Can't bear to start over again. I can feel right through the soul. Ain't a little rock and roll. Just needs a needle and some thread. You're asking me, they look just fine. Put 'em on, I slip right back in time to the day you brought 'em home. I'm sitting here alone with a broken heart aching. This truck's been sitting here for weeks, 'cause I just can't bear to leave. It's been sitting in that drive, just waiting for me to ride, but I got nowhere to go. If you're asking me, it'll be just fine. I'm sure we'll end up friends in time. Now it's sitting in the road, never want to go through a heartbreak again. Days this house feels so long, 'cause all I did was bitch and moan. All I did was bring you down. Why would you want to be around someone that didn't help you grow? If you're asking me, we'll be just fine. I'm sure we'll end up friends in time. I'm sitting here alone, thinking all that I said wrong, just looking at my phone, knowing it'll never ring for you again.
Oh, what a strong song to end on there, JD. That was good.
Thank you.
I love that, man.
Do we have time for some announcements yet?
We sure do, and
Okay.
that's what we're going to do now. You let us know what you got going on.
Okay, so what is it? October 22nd. That's gosh, why am I
Friday?
doing this? Is that?
That's Friday.
That's a Friday. Okay, yeah. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. We're playing at the Redstone Room. It's going to be all of us, our good friend, you guys and us. Our good friend Angela Meyer is going to be playing, and then she's going to play an hour, and then we're gonna play. We'll be the middle act, and then there's a guy named Timbo and the Low Country Sound, I believe, is his band name, and then they're going to be playing from 9 to 10, I believe. Yeah, nice Nashville act. He's pretty good. He's got music out there too. You guys could take a listen. But we got that going on. And then the big one, there's another one that we're doing. So we're putting on a thing to benefit the River Music Experience. I'm sure you guys know that they do a bunch of different things for kids locally, different like band and music camps and whatever. I'm doing a little bit of a fundraiser. So I've got some tickets to give you guys that you guys can give away to some listeners for a raffle for a CF Martin acoustic electric cutaway guitar. It's valued at about $600 or $700 or so. Nice carrying case with it and everything. And then all the proceeds are going to go to River Music Experience for that stuff. There will be a 50-50 raffle, and then there will be some basket raffle, some other stuff. But I'm going to do about a 30, 45-minute acoustic set, and then Angela Meyer is going to play. She's going to do an hour, and then I'll do some more time with the full band. We'll have Mike, who called in when I was changing my string.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah. We'll have Mike with us, do the full band thing, and then after us, it's going to be Logan Springer and the Wonderfully Wild.
Yes, all friends of the show. Good to see you guys, all three of you guys in one spot. Wow.
So it'll be fun. So as far as the raffle tickets go, they can buy them at Drunken Barrels in East Moline, and they can get them through myself, Logan, or Angela Meyer, effective immediately. So those are available now. Another thing, the bar owner of the tavern, he's going to have a limo service that he's paying for himself to essentially be an Uber for people for the later hours of the evening. All that stuff, you can find that information on my Instagram and Facebook and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's what we've got. And then the biggest thing, the thing that I want to talk about, I want to give a shout out to True Team Realty or True Homes Quad Cities that are with Remax River Cities. They are the sponsor for this thing. They're big music fans. Anna Aguilera, True, cousin of mine, and then Chris True are the ones that started that team. And I'm actually I'm working with them now, so that's another thing I didn't discuss. So I'm actually
so you're selling homes.
Illinois licensed. That's something else I'm doing on top of all the other stuff that I'm throwing out there.
You just sat around like, man, I am just so bored.
Yeah,
I gotta
I'm
find
so
something
bored.
to do.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, COVID, and I was like, you know what? I need to do way more. And then the world opened back up again, and
Here we
Here
are.
I am.
There we go.
So that's that. But True Team, you know, they're top in sales in the Quad City area. A lot of people don't know this. There's about 1,000. There's about 1,000 realtors in the Quad City area, and they're top 1% all the time. So,
All right.
big
Quick
shout out to them. Thank you guys so much for supporting music, for supporting River Music Experience, and they've got a good team. Quite a few other people. They've got Rye Schultz, Alma, Stella, and then Chris, Anna, myself, Missy, and Mackenzie. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys.
All right, sounds good. And yeah, that's a great thing you're doing. So we're going to post that information later on our Facebook page. So if you missed it or want more information, we'll get that to you later on. But until then, JD, thanks so much for coming in. And the guys, you guys sound great together. Looking forward to hearing some more from you. And let's do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Again, come out and see us. That event will be the night before Thanksgiving. It'll be November 24th for the big one with the guitar raffle. I didn't even say the date or time, but yeah, they can find all that. So, thanks.
Right. Yep, no problem. Thank you so much, JD. It sounds great, and we're looking forward to hearing more from JD in the future. This is the Local Lick Show right here on Vintage Radio 107.